Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Finding Freedom. In this episode, we're going to talk about why numbers matter in marketing. Why? Because at today's day and age, everybody's suffering from, well, inflation, taxes, and everything being more, so they have to make more. So I'm going to break down a marketing funnel as I did for a friend of mine, and I'm going to show you why you need a filtering process in order to get the right clients for your business. So we're going to start off with a funnel. If you don't know what a funnel is, or you never changed oil in a car. A funnel is just something to make things easier along the way and to direct its path if it's right for the system. If it doesn't fit, then something will stop it on the way down. So let's start with a funnel here. And I'm going to make this pretty simple. So this would be your top of funnel or your top. Then you have your middle of funnel, right? MOF. And then you have your bottom of funnel, both, right? Or BOF, or whatever, however you want to pronounce it, whether or not you learned English a certain way. So anyways, your top of funnel, your middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. Now in the digital age that we live in, we need to understand that people need to see things to become aware. This would be their consciousness, so on and so forth. So your top of funnel is just getting out in front of as many people as possible, right? Because it's just like going out in the world. The only way you meet more people is if you go meet more people, right? You think of the law of averages and numbers. For every 10, at least one has to freaking say hello, right? Or at least say, how's your day going, right? They have to care. 1 out of 10. I think now it's like 1 out of 20, but whatever. So check this out. You have your top of funnel. This is where you have to put yourself out there to see if anybody acknowledges you, right? So this would be like engagement in the digital space, right? So video views is one thing. You can have a video play, but you might be taking a shower. You can have a video play, but you might be doing something else. So this is why you want engagement. You want to see if they're interacting with the device, preferably with your content, right, on the device. So you have engagement. So that's a little abbreviation for engagement, but you would do an engagement campaign now. I don't know how many of these are successful on the Google side, but I know on social media, when it comes to developing who you are and you want people to talk about you, well, digital media, social media is the new form of word of mouth marketing. And if you don't understand that, then you are lost in the times that we have lived in for the past couple years. Because now it's like, oh, did you see this on TikTok? Did you see that on Instagram? Did you see this on YouTube? It's no longer, did you see this on ABC? Did you see this on Fox? So on and so forth. So these are the digital channels that we have now. So just like Netflix and Amazon and all these companies release new movies and see which ones stay and which ones go and which ones are holiday seasonal, so on and so forth, this is where your engagement comes from. So you want to test out all your posts there. Now, when it comes to middle of funnel, this is why numbers matter. This is where you're going to do your traffic campaign and you're going to target everybody that engaged with your stuff, right? Because you already know they're interested. So if they want to learn more, hit them with different creative, and then they could be, given a call to action, a CTA, to click through. So this is where your traffic and CTA come into place. This is the first time you're going to probably ask. These are more like jabs. So if you studied Gary Vaynerchuk, his book, Jab, 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 Right Hook, you want to keep jabbing, and this is your top of funnel. You're not wasting a lot of energy when you're jabbing. It's to, do a lot of things. It's to test your reach, just like top of funnel does. It's to test your distance to see where you're at. Now, when you throw across, right, because it's jab, 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 right, and then hook, when you're throwing your right, you're putting more effort behind it. So that's your middle of funnel, right? So that's why you have to put traffic, right? That's your CPC. Now, when you do your bottom of funnel and you go in, right? Think Mike Tyson. So you have jab, 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 right, and then hook, right? That's a very powerful shot. So you're going to probably spend a lot of money or energy on that. And what is money but not a tool that helps us gain or stay with more energy, right? You can't get healed in a hospital for free, at least not here. So, what's it called? You can't eat the healthy food because it costs too much thanks to inflation, so on and so forth. But hang in there with me. So, this would be your your upper hook. Looky, I got a hooky. Anyways, so those of you who are scared of time, don't worry. You have plenty of time. Listen to Gary. He won't lead you astray. I got to go talk to somebody else though, which is you. So the bottom of funnel. This is where you're going to do your conversion campaign. So this is where you're going to do a simple call to action, and this is your CPA, cost per acquisition. So don't think accounting, but you're going to have to speak to the accountant or whoever's in charge of finances to get the budget to run this. Now, when you're running this, this is where a lot of your effort is going to go into, right? So 50% of your budget is going to go into your middle of funnel, right? Because it's your jab, 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 and then you got to throw a right. Well, the click, right? The click of the action for them to go to your website costs more. So you're going to have to put more budgeting behind that. Your jab doesn't cost a lot, and you could see that within the CPMs of your results, right? So this is where I would say roughly 20% of your budget will go for marketing, so on and so forth, et cetera, your advertising budget. And then the last 30 will go here. Now you're probably asking, well, why don't I just put everything in bottom of funnel and just focus on bottom of funnel? That's very hard to do if you're a new company, if you're competing in a red ocean and you don't have a blue ocean strategy. So for most people, because you're not the only person on the block doing what you do, right? You have to spend a lot of time up here, but you don't want to spend a lot of money. It's okay if you do engagement campaigns, you won't spend a lot of money, so on and so forth, but you will get a synopsis of your audience, just like you will develop your reach when you're boxing or in a gym or, doing martial arts. You're closing the distance or closing width, as they say. And then, of course, with middle of funnel, you have traffic, and that's your first call to action. This is your first time walking up and saying, hi, my name is Michael. Or, hi, my name is Steve. Or, hi, my name's Judy. Or, hi, my name's Janet or Scott or Susie, whatever the case may be, right? It's that first introduction where you go to break the kinesthetic barrier because you want them to click on what it is that you're doing, right? You just don't want them to observe anymore. You want them to follow through with something. Would you like to go on a date? Would you like to go to dinner? Would you like to do something outside of where everybody else is hanging out? So let's go to the website. Let's go to Starbucks. Let's go to Amelie's. Let's go to a coffee shop, whatever. Develop a relationship, right? And then, of course, bottom of funnel is after you spent so much time here, because now this stuff is going to become organic because you have a fan base that's starting to develop within the audience that you started to groom up here. Now, when you go in for the call to action, the KISS, so on and so forth, that's why it's called cost per acquisition, right? What's an acquisition? Well, when you exchange something for something else. Well, you exchange your time, money, or your time, energy, and attention, right? Time, energy, attention, right? So you spent a lot of time to get them to engage, right? And then you have your middle of funnel. This is the energy that you put forth, right? So eventually you can get attention, right? Which is your bottom of funnel. So that's your cost per acquisition. Now, this is the number that's going to be most important to a lot of you because it's going to affect your bottom line and your profits, or I should say your revenue. This is how much you're going to spend in order to acquire one person as a client. None of this other stuff matters until you get this number, right? And you want to get this number as low as possible. So if it costs you $50 to get the person to purchase something, so on and so forth. If it costs 100, if it's a simple dance or conversation, then you know exactly how much it costs to acquire something and bring it into your life. This is why numbers matter in marketing, because if you don't know your numbers, you're not going to know how much to invest up here. You won't know what to put in the middle. And then, of course, when you're going to go all in and ask the big question, what are you going to spend on it? Right? It's like a diamond ring. What are you going to spend? Does that really matter? And it's funny how this is in the shape of, well, what people would understand looks like a gem or a diamond. So this has been another episode of Finding Freedom. Hope you understand now why numbers matter, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.